Look, I even poured a drink into this really cute cup, and I had to use my little kettle, and this time there wasn't something gross and crusty on it. Now everyone's just gonna think I'm gross forever because of that shot with my dirty kettle from my previous vlog. On this beautiful, beautiful, not 370,000 degree weather in Texas, everyone decided to do yard work. Hi, my name is Kayla, and welcome to my channel. If you don't know what I do, I am a writer who writes mainly YA, urban fantasy, and horror. And today, you are going to get a look of me writing my short story, Circus Teeth, which is inspired by the song Who's Afraid of Little Old Me by Taylor Swift. So basically what Circus Teeth is about a young woman named Sophia, and she is a fortune teller at a circus. And she is severely, criminally underpaid. And the man who owns the circus, who's in charge of everything, Don, he basically bought her when she was a child because of her talents. And it is because of her that this circus has taken off and why they are where they are, because even though it's only briefly mentioned, she did a very accurate reading for somebody very high up, and that kind of caught the attention of people. But he's kind of just been paying her very little, and she wants more, reasonably so. This is kind of a story of people in power taking advantage of people who basically helped them get where they are, but those people don't get the credit that they deserve. And I hope that you enjoy it, and here is me writing Circus Teeth. Today is July 18th, and I'm going to try to write a little bit of Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. I tried to sit down and write a little bit of it the other night, and I got like nearly a page of it, but everything that I have on here I think can be condensed to like one paragraph to really kind of get to the point and shorten it. I have a general idea of what I want to happen, but I think I need to listen to the song again to really kind of get the juices flowing. I think I'm gonna go listen to the song and then try to edit this down and add a little bit more tonight. I have a bit over 800 words right now, and I think that I'm liking the direction of the story so far. One thing that I find very interesting when looking up stuff about circuses is that you either get the circus is this great magical place and it's where all these things that you didn't think were possible are happening, or the circus is a horror show with so much abuse going on behind the scenes for its performers and its animals. I think that now, present day, that the circus is a lot better than it was. But then again, I don't know for sure because I haven't like done really in-depth research on the circus. I'm just kind of trying to create a vibe based around a song, so if it's inaccurate, then a lot of what I saw was the mistreatment of animals. So I'm kind of touching on that in here, but I don't want to go like too graphic about it or anything. One, because I don't like writing that stuff. I don't like reading that stuff. But I do think that while writing a horror story that involves a circus, if you're going to have animals, then it's probably going to be brought up that they're mistreated. And then also, I didn't really want to go the whole freaks route because I feel like there are so many horror stories that involve that, but it is mentioned. I don't know, like I said, I don't know that I'm going to have like these characters that were kind of, inspired by people who had these actual conditions. I'm not sure that these characters are going to be like an actual part in the story. I think I'm going to stick mainly to like fortune tellers, trapeze artists, trainers, kind of like that kind of stuff, because I don't want to get to American Horror Story Freak Show or like 1932's Freaks. I don't know that I would be able to do that sensitively enough. So I guess what I'm saying is I don't know that I can provide anything new. I have 2,780 words for my Who's Afraid of Little Old Me inspired story so far. I don't know how I'm feeling about this. I'm trying to just churn out the rest of a first draft today. I wanted to have this done before August. I really like my ideas for this story. I'm not quite sure how they're panning out, so I think I'm just going to have to write we'll call it the shit draft, right? And read it through and see how it flows and what I think of it. I just got to the part where Sophia just kind of drove the tone arm of the record player into Sam's eye. I don't know that it's exactly realistic because she's supposed to have snapped it off and there's supposed to be like a sharp point from where she snapped it off. In reality, I think that it would just be kind of like the wires, like I think there's like a little black attachment there or something and there would just be wires coming off of that. But for the sake of the story, it's gonna be a sharp edge. I am not finishing the crap draft today. I got to slightly over 3,000 words and reworded some stuff that I already wrote, but yeah, I just have other stuff to do. But hopefully I can finish this draft tomorrow. I did not finish my crap draft today, but I did go back and heavily edit some of the pages that I already have. So I wouldn't say that today is wasted or that that's even really putting me behind, because this is stuff I would have had to do eventually anyway. I kind of went and cut a lot from areas that I felt were like too clunky, too chunky, and added some to later parts that I felt were a bit more lacking, I guess. It's taking a little longer than I wanted it to as far as getting out a full and complete draft, but I guess you can't even really call this a first draft because I did a lot of edits today. I'd say today was good progress. This is kind of what I've been working on since completing my first draft. Kind of trying to replace starting every single sentence with a pronoun. I feel like when I don't start a sentence with a pronoun, like my sentences tend to be longer. So this is gonna take a little bit of like finagling to kind of figure out how people write more cleanly and without starting with as many pronouns. This is what I had before. Sophia looked at the cream-colored carpet, combing through the night's events. 11. Don clasped the cigarette between his lips and reached into his pocket. Sophia jumped at the sudden movement. Chloe's wide eyes were slick with discomfort. Don aggressively took out a singular bill from his wallet and presented it to Sophia between two fingers. So that is what I had. And now I have, as if the answers were hidden in the cream-colored carpet, Sophia stared at it, combing through the night's events. 11. The cigarette wobbled between Don's clasped lips. Suddenly, he reached into his pocket, and Sophia jumped, but eased when he pulled out his wallet. With an aggressive whip, he retrieved a singular bill from the battered leather and presented it to her between two fingers. It was $30 less than her usual payment. So, originally, like, as you can see, like, there's kind of a little bit more here, but also, like, I cut, like, the thing about Chloe, because I feel like Chloe's eyes, like, I wanted to show that Chloe, though she's kind of bitchy, was also uncomfortable, but I just moved that up to another part because I felt like throwing Chloe's wide eyes were slick with discomfort didn't really matter in this exchange between Dawn and Sophia. I mean, like, I guess you could say that it does matter because she is uncomfortable, but I felt like I needed to keep the lens on, like, Sophia at this moment. So I moved that line to a different part. But I do think that it is coming together a lot nicer. Another example I have is she returned to her wagon and burst into tears as soon as she was inside. A knock on the door interrupted her. She stifled her sobs and wiped the rivulets from her cheeks. And then I changed that, and though this one's a little longer, I feel like it flows a lot better without the she and the she, like, cutting out some of those beginning. It's okay to have pronouns as the beginning of a sentence, but, like, mine were, like, almost all the time, and I've really noticed it with this story. So I changed that to, it wasn't until safely inside her wagon that she burst into tears. A knock on the door interrupted the sobs. Rivulets stained her cheeks, and she wiped them away in a frivolous effort to pull herself together. So, it's the same idea, but just kind of working through the sentence and really thinking about how to structure it, and I'm hoping that I'm not making it worse and that I'm making it better. And then one that came a little earlier was Chloe's high-pitched artificial laugh pierced Sophia's ears. And I changed that, and yes, I did make the sentence longer, which is probably what I'm not supposed to be doing with a short story, but I changed that from starting with Chloe's to an irritating itch vibrated in Sophia's ears as Chloe's shrill artificial laugh pierced them. And I had to ask somebody, be like, you know what I'm saying, right? Like, and he understood completely what I was saying there, and he's like, yes, that is what I think of when I read that sentence. So I'm glad that I didn't, like, complicate it, by trying to explain something that I knew what I was talking about, but also I feel that that's a little bit more descriptive than just, yeah, Chloe has a high-pitched artificial laugh. Like, you can, like, hopefully, anyway, the readers will get across the feeling that Sophia is getting when hearing it. And this has been a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. And then there are some that I'm a little more iffy about. I feel like I might be making it worse, which is why I'm not I'm not typing in the draft that I have, and I have 2 separate documents. So in case, like, I actually did make it worse, I can just go back and be like, okay, what did I do before? I have little notes. All these are, like, notes of how maybe I can rework it. So I just finished another draft, and I think that it's better. But I still think that the pacing is very off. But I'm not sure that I'm going to get another draft done before I post in October, because I have some other things that I really need to finish. And so I'm trying to get a little ahead on these short stories, even if they're not the greatest drafts. I'm at least trying to get a few stories ahead so that I don't have to worry about the holidays. And I'm trying to get at least 2 or 3 drafts finished, even if those aren't the final forms of those stories. I feel like there might be slightly more wrong with the pacing than just adding a few things to a couple scenes. Like, maybe I think it might be a transitional kind of thing, like from scene to scene, of why the pacing might be off. But that's future Kayla's problem when she goes back and edits this at another time. It is 8:01 on September 4th, and I have finally finished the draft that I want to put on YouTube. It took a while. I don't know that the pacing is necessarily fixed or if I made it worse, but this is the version that's going on YouTube, and that's that. I will take some time away from it and then re-examine it later on. But I came up with a name too. I don't know that's necessarily the best name, but it is called Circus Teeth. So I am a bit ahead of schedule still, which is nice. And maybe tomorrow I can work on my next story. But for right now, I think I'm satisfied with where this is at. But I'm excited to kind of move on to the next one because I was working on that one for a while. I've been working on it for a while, off and on. So it's nice to kind of take a breather and then go back to it later. But all I have to do now is record it, edit it, upload it. Well, this has been quite the day. I am in the process of recording. I have to keep stopping because I guess this isn't just a day where people are going to be mowing in the morning. It's going to be an on and off thing all day long. I am not being as productive today as I wanted to. It's I know you probably can't hear it now, but as soon as I start this, there's going to be a lawnmower or dogs barking. I'm at the part where she takes the tone arm from the record player and snaps it off. But I used the word phonograph because I was trying to see what word was popular, like in the 30s, 40s, and that's what I saw. Now when I'm looking pictures up, I don't know if they have a tone arm. Some of them look like they do, while others look like that is not a thing on there. I may have gotten some of my stuff wrong, but I'm going to look more into this, and then if I have to change it when I go back and edit it, I will. Unfortunately, you guys are stuck with the term phonograph. If that's incorrect and they don't have tone arms, I apologize. I should have just used the word record player. All right, so I have the video uploaded to my drafts on YouTube and ready to go. I am not going to be here on the 13th. Well, I will, but it won't be until later because I am going out of state for a wedding, so I have to make sure everything's a little early. I was supposed to have a Halloween vlog out, like writing vlog, but what I filmed, I didn't like it. I hated it. So this is Wicked Vanilla Woods. I got it from Bath & Body. And I like to call this my reputation candle.